Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Four completely different countries painted as emerging world powers. In 2004, Gene O'Neill, economist at Goldman Sachs, was the first to point out these nations had potential.
Probably 3 years, the BRIC countries will become bigger than the US, which will have big political consequences as to how they all interact within the G20 and will mean obviously a little, if not a lot, about who should be running places like the IMF and the World Bank.
The investment flow for these four countries have remained strong in the past few years, despite the world economic crisis. But recently, the Big Four started to lose favor among investors. The world lingering economy is at fault for that, but there is more. After 9 years, these countries still have a mountain to climb when it comes to corporate governance. Summarizing, corporate governance is the foundation that makes investors feel safe to put their money in a company or country. Brazil has created a safe environment through laws and its market regulation. But, for example, the government is a controller shareholder of the biggest listed company, Petrobras. In the past few years, some decisions haven't pleased the shareholders, and the company's stocks that were traded for $21 in 2008 are now traded for about $10. In India, the legal environment is also developing, making it safer for minority shareholders. The country felt the urge to change after the huge $1.5 billion corporate scandal of the technology information firm Satyen in 2009. However, proper enforcement of the law is still a challenge. In Russia, there is no sign that the law will change in order to protect local or foreign investors. The country is one of the most corrupt in the world, and doing business there implies dealing with a parasitic state bureaucracy. China is a black box. It is hard for foreign investors to put their money in the country through the Shanghai Stock Exchange, but many Chinese mainland companies choose to list their shares in Hong Kong. However, the Hong Kong Stock Exchange is not pleased with the lack of transparency of these companies, and neither is the US regulator, the Securities and Exchange Commission, now that several Chinese companies are present in the United States. BRICs have evolved economically in the past few decades, but investors are now waking up to governance issues, and it's time for the world to do the same. Considering these countries are about to gain more and more importance in international politics, solving these problems became a matter that should concern developed economies.